back. Gra, gra. You know what the fuck going on. We being consistent. Feel me? But I'm not even gonna say too much. Before I start though, shout out to anybody who gonna see this. I don't give a fuck where you at. I don't care what you doing. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're at school. I don't care if you're on the moon. I don't care if you're driving. I don't care if you're asleep. Shout out to you because you're gonna see this. Feel me? But I'm not even gonna waste too much time. Everybody know Lil Durk locked up right now. Murder for hire case. I've been watching his lawyer do interviews on Vlad TV, so about to watch this third part. Started the screen share. Ain't even gonna waste too much time. right, that's enough of that. Start this shit up.
Well, you guys put in a bond request, and the request is $1 million in cash, 900,000 real estate, 150,000 from an associate, and 24/7 armed security and electronic monitoring. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Damn, now let me run that back. That's a little hefty. I ain't going front.
900,000. Well, you guys put in a bond request, and the request is $1 million in cash, 900,000 real estate, 150,000 from an associate, and 24/7 armed security and electronic monitoring. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. How soon will you hear back on this request?
So,
Nah, that's a lot. Nah, one more time.
Well, you guys put in a bond request, and the request is $1 million in cash, 900,000 real estate, 150,000 from an associate, and 24/7 armed security and electronic monitoring. Is that accurate?
yes.
Okay.
So that's about a little over 2 million. But I ain't gonna lie, for somebody like Durk, I would really think they're gonna offer at least 10 million. But
How soon
it is what it is.
will you hear back on this request?
So, great question. And I alluded to it earlier. I think what will happen is we'll go to court in a week and a half, and we'll just ask the judge to review. It's the same magistrate, regardless of what happens. That hearing will go quick. And then no matter who prevails, it's going to be appealed. 100% case of this magnitude to the district court. Whether or not the district court hears it the first week in June, I don't know. I don't control their calendar, and these district court judges are extremely busy. But the earliest would probably be for the next stage, the real hearing on June 2nd. It could come sometime thereafter.
Okay. And what do you expect will happen?
I think that ultimately the district court is going to be the introduction of them hearing the serious parts of this case. And so I think it will be taken very seriously. And I'm hoping for what's called de novo, which is a fresh review. And I think that Durk should get bond. I don't think that he is a threat to flee the jurisdiction. I mean, let's be candid. He's got kids. He's got family. He's got his mom who he loves. He's got his dad who he's waited until.
And they're not saying that this man did the crime himself. They saying that he hired somebody to do the crime. Get a man bond, let him come home, fight the shit from that home, man.
2019, after 26 years to have a relationship with, and that relationship got interrupted by COVID when we all kind of stalled for a couple of years. He is not going to leave these people. He is not going to leave his family. He is not going to leave his friends. He is not going to leave his career. So I don't think that he's a threat to flee the jurisdiction. And by the way, I should tell you at the original hearing, the probation officer, after analyzing all the evidence, found that he was not a risk to flee the jurisdiction.
Well,
okay.
But was it the whole thing about when he got arrested, he had booked all these different plane tickets and so forth? There's like 3 different plane tickets booked, 2 commercial and 1 private.
Yeah.
Leaving the country, all 3 of them. Yeah. I think that's what they used to deny bond, right?
Well,
partly.
Okay. And so same thing. It was incompletely presented. As soon as we got in and we did our due diligence, right? We got the complete itineraries, and the complete itineraries were all going to Dubai. And so they would just, instead of doing the first and the second stop, I think one of them, for example, was Miami to Newark to, like, say Rome, and then to Dubai. They had it stop at Rome, for example. I can't remember where. And so we got the complete itineraries. Each of them ended in Dubai. Here was the problem. Each of them ended in Dubai, but they were row like 52 middle seat. And respectfully, it's Lil Durk. He's internationally famous. He's not going to sit in the middle row for 17 hours in the back of the plane. A lot of people would. It's just more of a distraction to him. He wasn't able to get that. And so the alternative of a private plane was booked at that point. So I say that because we gave that all to probation. And when they reviewed all of it, that's when probation at least made the recommendation to the court, which we didn't prevail, but at least they made the presentation to the court, having reviewed the real evidence that it wasn't a risk to flee the jurisdiction.
How did the relationship really start between you two? He reached out to you. Was he recommended by somebody? Did you already know him beforehand?
You know, I have never represented him before. He clearly was familiar with me through a lot of my other clients. And it seems, Vlad, that my whole career is waking up at 6 a.m. and having 5 text messages. And that's like the story of my life. And so whatever time I woke up that morning, I had text messages from all different types of people requesting that I get to Miami immediately. And, you know, probably by 5 o'clock that night, I was in Miami and, of course, met with him. And we started assembling our team, Chicago counsel, LA counsel, and, of course, my law firm taking the lead in the case.
I mean, you speak to him regularly, I assume, being his primary lawyer. What's his overall mental state going through this? Because clearly he's never gone through anything like this before.
This young man just like blows me away. His confidence in us, he is so polite. He is so respectful, and he ends everything with thank you, and not just like gratuitous, not just fake, but he's sincerely thankful every time that we talk. He's super attentive. He wants to understand. And he has been, you know, given the circumstances, he has been a thoroughly enjoyable as it can be to see him suffering, being in a jail under those conditions. I enjoy my time with him. He smiles. He smiles from ear to ear. He's just respectful to everybody on the team.
I'm gonna react to the next video, part 4, whenever I get the chance. Out of here. One more time, shout out to whoever gonna see this, whoever watching this. I don't care who you are, where you from, where you at, what you doing. I don't give a fuck if you at school. I don't care if you at moon. If you on the moon, I don't give a fuck if you driving. I don't give a fuck if you sleeping. Shout out to you. I'm out of here. Gra, gra.